Man says obvious, makes obvious point and says obvious thing. What's the benefit of this being said? And he's obviously right. He's obviously right. And the craziest thing is that I say there's no benefit because people are actually going to try argue that he's wrong. So if you guys don't know who Michael Porter Jr. is, Michael Porter Jr. is an NBA player, he's averaging like 25 points a game. And I'm still fully convinced that there are people that will say that Michael Porter Jr. is, if he played in the WNBA, he wouldn't be as good as Angel Wilson. He would average 100 points a game. I'm not joking when I say this. He would average 100 points a game in the WNBA. 40-minute games. Even if they gave him 5 minutes a game rest, he might average 96 points a game. But he might average 100 points a game in the WNBA. But that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. Because for their specific game, Angel Wilson is better. Is obviously better. But at the same time, like, that's kind of irrelevant. Because they're different sports. It's like saying, like, obviously the Sabalenka versus Kyrgios. If Kyrgios tries, and it's a best of 3 sets, if Sabalenka wins one game, she's done well. It's going to be 6-love Kyrgios. And Kyrgios hasn't been good in years. We know that. Like, it's the most pointless argument ever. And what he's saying here is a factual statement. Like, he was basically said, he's going, it says basically, he claims they would have dominated WNBA as an 8th grader. I played scout. Basically, he said he played scout team at the University of Missouri, and they were good. They had players like Sophie Cunningham and a couple others. And he was in 7th or 8th grade going crazy, so I have real life experience. He was probably 6'5", windmilling, shooting threes with a handle in 7th or 8th grade. Like, Amani Bates was 6'7" with a handle and was putting up 30 points a game in high school. Amani Bates would have averaged 30 in the WNBA at 14. Like, he would have. That doesn't mean that these players aren't great. But also, to make the argument, someone just goes, being here like, oh, you played against Sophie Cunningham and now thinks he can form an opinion in the WNBA. Sophie Cunningham led the WNBA in true shooting percentage last year. Sophie Cunningham was one of the top 30 to 40 players in the world that year. It's like saying, oh, you mean he only played against, I'm just trying to think of just a random, who's the 40th best NBA player. Denny Avdia. He doesn't really know anything about the NBA. It's only Denny Avdia he played against. This isn't Centel. He constantly brings up the topic, and I don't know what's the point, because he's not wrong. Age of smoking. If they played to 100, and it was make it, take it, Michael Porter Jr. might win 100 to less than 10 from Angel Wilson. But, like, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. Because he was one of the best 8th grade players in the world. Average 8th grade, 9th, 10th grade players would get owned by women's pro. Yeah, that's exactly right. The average player will get killed by a women's pro player, by a WNBA player. But what is there to be gained by saying this? He's not wrong. Like, I think if you're arguing he's wrong, you just don't understand biology. You don't understand biology if you're arguing you're right, that he's wrong. But, like, at the same time, like, look, if you put, I'm just trying to think what age is 9th, 10th grade? It's like 16. Like 8th grade's like 14. Have you watched what Andrew Wiggins or what 7th Woods were doing at 14 years old? Like, 7th Woods, by the way, do you realize that 7th, the first pro league the 7th Woods played in, I played in that league. Like, he wasn't this ultra high pro level player. His first stop in his pro career was a league I played in. Like, that's the thing. And 14-year-old 7th Woods would be the best player in the WNBA. Like, it's just biology. It's just biology. It's like, but I hate this argument because clearly Caitlin Clark is more skilled than all of those players. But, like, it's just a physical thing. Like, it's just physicality, it's athleticism. And that's why sports is gender specific. And it's the reason why. And the reason why people a lot of the time got into the WNBA is that level of athleticism that the NBA players have is something that's not really there in the WNBA quite yet. And it means you could argue Makes the game better. And it's the reason why, like, a lot of the main fan base of the WNBA prior to the Caitlin Clark boom were like men in their 50s who didn't like the way the NBA basketball was gone, ISO ball, and just wanted fundamentally sound basketball. And that's the thing, is like, there is an audience for women's sports, but like when we get into the argument of this player could beat this player is when it gets dumb. And when, like, the fact that Michael Porter Jr. feels like he has to say this, because we know he's got no filter. We know he's got no filter. The fact he feels like he has the need to say this is dumb as well. Because I'm just sitting there and I'm like, there's actually nothing to be gained by saying this. Nobody gains anything by you saying this. You're not wrong, but no one gains anything. Like, and that's the problem, where I just remember when McEnroe said Serena was the best. I always talk about this. When McEnroe said Serena Williams was the best female tennis player of all time. And then they were like, is she not the greatest tennis player? McEnroe was like, no, she'd be like the sixth. If she was played against the men, she'd be the equivalent of the ranked 600 player in the world. Which, by the way, is maybe as big of a compliment as you could actually give Serena Williams. To say a sport that has as many people playing as tennis, that the number one female in that sport would be around maybe 600 in the males, is a compliment. That is a compliment. Like, just because, again, biology kind of matters. But yeah, it is an interesting thing there though. And it's just, the conversation's never going to stop. Like, and by the way, like, Aja Wilson saying that she would, like, it was disrespectful that Josh Hart said he would beat her in a 1v1. I just remember being like, man, Josh Hart would beat you again. If you guys played to 100, he might beat you 100 to 15 if he was trying to let you score 10. He might go 100 to 5 if it was make it, take it. And I'm like, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. If that's the case, but it's like, there's a difference between being delusional and self-confidence and being like, anyone who doesn't believe your delusion is disrespecting you. Like, there's a big difference between those lines of thought. And then Michael Porter Jr. will just say whatever dumb shit comes into his head. And he'll say anything. I don't actually think he's wrong with this, but he will absolutely say whatever dumb shit comes into his head. Let's be real. He said so many crazy things this last year. But anyway, I'll see you guys.